Now at 8 o'clock, a man already accused of killing 3 local women is now charged with murdering a 4th. We're going to hear reaction from the victims' families as prosecutors continue to investigate Jesse Calhoun.
Plus, 2 families are reeling after a fire sparked by a lithium-ion battery destroyed their homes.
It had exploded and the flames just got completely out of hand before they can get a control on it.
Always a chance for things to go wrong with these lithium-ion batteries.
Yeah, why they think that battery is to blame and some steps everyone can take to stay safe.
China Green, can I interest you in some sunflowers this morning?
Yes, please.
We got that old school VW bus out in the sunflower fields at Lee Farms. Their annual Sunflower Festival kicking off today, runs for a couple of weeks. We're going to have more information, including ticket info, coming up a little bit later this hour on Sunrise. But that is a beautiful start to the 8 o'clock hour of the Sunrise Show.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We have 2 more sunflower fans on the show, Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill. Hey, Rod, rain falling. We've been talking about it all morning. How long will it last?
Well, we're starting to see maybe what has been the period. It was let me back up. There was 3 to 4 hours of steady rain. That seems to be breaking into scattered showers. You could definitely make the argument that the period of absolute steady rain over Portland is now ending. We're still going to see, I think, likely showers at times this morning, and then this afternoon it starts to get drier and drier and drier with the lingering scattered shower threat. Here's Lincoln City, Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 62 degrees. Currently reporting dry weather, but the cloud deck is low to the point that it's foggy. No wind to speak of, and really nobody's reported much wind at all. There are the clouds just above the West Hills, it looks like, over Portland. 63 is the number. We're starting to get some dry breaks, but still rain around the area. The scattered showers decreasing in numbers, as I mentioned, this afternoon. I have Portland getting up to about 72 degrees. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We've had 5 earlier crashes on the freeways so far this morning. The good news is no reports of any serious injuries at this point. Also, those crashes have cleared, but the drive is pretty slow. There's I-5 right now through North Portland. The southbound commute on the right-hand side of your screen there, moving from the lower right. That's obviously pretty thick this morning. In fact, there you go, puttering along at about 9 miles an hour. I-205 is heavy out of Clark County as well. You put that together, we're looking at almost 25 minutes now to get you in from Patton Parkway to the Banfield. South of town, I-5 through the Terwilliger Curves. We had an earlier crash here. That's out of the way, but the drive kind of slow there as well. So right now, plan some extra time, especially out of the Clark County vicinity, 205 and I-5. The rest of the commutes are, you know, we're getting along okay, but we'll keep you posted, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Jesse Calhoun, the man already accused of killing 3 women and dumping their bodies around the Portland area over 2 years ago, is now charged with a 4th murder.
It's an update that comes as no surprise to the families of the victims. Here's Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz with the latest.
This prosecution hints at what family victims and prosecutors have been saying for years, that they believe Jesse Calhoun is responsible for the deaths of 4 women and possibly even more. The district attorney's office announced on Tuesday Calhoun had been indicted on the death of 22-year-old Kristen Smith. She was reported missing 3 years ago. 2 months later, her remains were found in a wooded area of southeast Portland. We spoke to her mother, Melissa Smith, yesterday. She, like the families of other victims, is looking for answers from Calhoun.
If he has any heart and soul in him at all, will give us the least he could give us, the respect to tell us why. Why our girls? How? Just tell us.
Prosecutors haven't said how they connected Calhoun to the alleged crimes or how he knew these women. Calhoun's trial is set for 2027. He's pled not guilty so far. Calhoun's also been connected to a woman who died 2 years ago, 22-year-old Ashley Rial. Again, it's not clear how he's connected to her case. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
All right, by no means a huge election day, but residents in Southwest Washington did have a chance to cast their votes during the state's primary election on Tuesday. One of the races we are following is the one for Mayor of Stevenson out in the Gorge. That race includes current city councilor Lucy Losser, a transgender candidate who police arrested earlier this summer for protesting topless against President Trump. The latest results show Losser is 3rd in a 3-person race, way behind the leader, Jenny Collins Taylor, who's earned 65% of the vote so far. In Clark County, a proposition that would lift a levy cap to provide more funding for Fort Vancouver regional libraries is tracking to pass at this point with 53% of the vote.
And Vancouver residents will also vote this fall on whether or not to raise property taxes to fund more police. City Council just approved putting this on the November ballot. If it passes, the levy would add up to 13 officers, cover equipment and vehicles, and help pay for investigations and traffic enforcement. City leaders say that more officers are needed to reduce response times and meet the demands of a growing population. Voters rejected a similar proposal last November.
You could say we've been pretty fortunate to this point with cooler temperatures and even rain at times that have really helped with this year's wildfire season.
But we also have much hotter weather in the forecast next week. And as meteorologist Joey Neary explains, the threat of wildfires is expected to remain high for the rest of the summer.
Summer 2025 has been mild so far across the Pacific Northwest in terms of heat and how bad wildfire season has been compared to years past. But going into the later part of August,
it's the weekend that we're starting to watch closely because it does look like at least a temporary heat wave is coming our way.
This weekend is expected to bring the hottest stretch we've seen so far this year. Right now, the one thing we have on our side,
fortunately, it's not coming with strong winds. It's not coming with lightning, but it does look like a hot spell that'll be with us. And certainly it appears that our fire danger indices are going to rebound upwards. We're anticipating that.
John Sultenberger is the Fire Weather Program Manager with the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center. He's already forecasting the rest of the summer to turn hot.
And we fully anticipate that the remainder of the 2025 fire season is going to have better than average potential for large, costly fires along the geographic area.
The 2025 wildfire season so far has burned nearly 200,000 acres. Last year at this time, it was already over 1.4 million acres. Now as we go into the hottest stretch of the summer, both August and September are looking to be hot here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond.
Look for August continues to call for hotter than normal conditions for the geographic area, in fact, just about the entire United States.
As more people spend time outdoors,
the main concern is human-caused fires, folks out recreating or doing yard work.
The threat of wildfires starting is going to remain high.
Fire season is not over here in the Pacific Northwest. As we know, it'll go through August and September.
Until we start seeing our first heavy rains of fall move in. Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
The summer season also means sunflower season. We've been out at the Sunflower Festival all morning long. Suddenly Eric Patterson's like, what, do I need to show some sunflowers? There they are. I do appreciate the chicken shots too, Eric. So all the goodness worth checking out at Lee Farms in Tualatin. They're kicking off the annual Sunflower Festival today. Runs through August the 24th. Lots to see and do out there for the entire family, including their famous sunflower maze. If you want more information, what's that, Rooster? You want more information? Okay, here it comes. OregonSunflowerFestival.com. You can go there for more info and for tickets. Thank you, Rooster, for providing some background noise to this morning. Yeah, thank you for that noise this morning.
All right, so let's talk about sunflower seeds for a second. Okay. I'm going to tell you something personal that nobody knows. You don't know. My husband knows, and you might think differently of me after this.
Oh, wow. Sit back, Rod. Here we go.
I eat the entire sunflower seed. I don't spit out the shells.
Wow. I don't even like having the shell in my mouth to begin with.
Yeah, I just eat it like popcorn.
I can beat that story. You want me to beat it? Tell me if you think this beats your story.
Okay.
Are you familiar with edamame?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you get it a lot of times at sushi restaurants.
What does he do? What does he do?
So I never liked it because I used to think it was like a snow pea and you would eat the whole thing. Well, if you eat the whole thing, it's really tough. And then I marry my beautiful wife and we go to sushi and I'm noticing everybody's like cracking open the skin and just taking out the seeds, which are actually quite wonderful.
Yes.
So now I like it.
So she was doing something that she enjoys doing. You were doing something that you didn't even like doing, but you just kept doing it.
Yes.
Mine's a choking hazard.
Yeah. You guys are both a little, I don't know, nuts.
Mine's, I think, an embarrassment hazard more than anything. All right. Here's a look at our Doppler radar this morning. The steady rain push that went on for hours overnight into early morning here in Portland looks to be over, at least for the time being. Radar is showing it's all scattered shower activity now, which means we're starting to get a mix of wet and dry from downtown Portland back to the coast. We've had rain through the gorge, including at least some traceable raindrops out in the Oregon Veterans Home camera area of the Dalles. This is looking out in Wasco County at the cloudy sky, 65 degrees. Even here, winds are less than 10. Nobody's expecting much of any wind today. Now, the clouds also extend over the Cascades, over into Sun River Resort. Radar's been showing some rain showers up in the clouds. I can't find anybody that's reported any moisture. If you are going to Sun River or Central Oregon today, generally is expected to be dry with increasing sunshine this afternoon in the forecast after the cloudy start. Here's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood, where it's been raining on and off this morning, 62. Again, we're starting to get our first, for Portland anyway, breaks in the rain of the morning. The roads are wet and temperatures are pleasant, generally in the low 60s, 63 in downtown Portland, same in Kaiser and Salem is at 64. The temperature march holds us shy of 70, perhaps all the way into 3 o'clock this afternoon. A lot of clouds, a continued scattered shower threat this afternoon will help keep temperatures down. In fact, even with partly to mostly sunny skies developing out east, a lot of you will only be in the 70s today. Pretty comfortable day. 72 will lift the impact alert this afternoon. Again, most of the rain we're going to get today is this morning. 76 tomorrow, and then we have the warming trend. Saturday's not bad, but Sunday's 94. KGW weather impact alert for 100 on Monday and 94 on Tuesday. Yeah, here's Chris.
Okay, thanks for that, Rod. There is a look at 4 different traffic cameras across the region, and they are, well, sorry for the one in the lower left-hand part of your screen. It's going in and out, but the point is that it is slow through North Portland right now, and of course the drive on I-5 coming up from Capitol Highway also a little thick. Let's zoom in right now. We're puttering along at about 20 miles an hour from there up through the Terwilliger curves into North Portland. Again, really kind of slow through the Delta Park area. Your drive times shaping up like this: 25 minutes get you in from Troutdale on Interstate 84, 35 minutes almost to get you in from Wilsonville. And last but not least, the drive out of Clark County. These are both slow this morning, 25 now minutes, that is. You're tripping from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. Guys?
Chris, thank you. Are you ready for the rain? Aye, aye, Captain. All right, in a new driving, nobody got that. In a new Driving Me Crazy segment, our Chris McGinnis breaks down everything you need to know to stay safe on wet roads ahead on Sunrise.
In just hours now, President Trump's tariff plan will go into effect. That while the White House continues to face growing pressure and questions about transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein case. I'm Jay Gray. We'll have it all from Washington coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
This is our first full week of our annual KGW school supply drive.
Oh yeah, school supply, there you go, woo!
And we'll continue to collect donations through August 28th.
KGW's Catherine Cook has a little more for us this morning. She spoke to one of the leaders of Portland Public Schools who says the need to help local teachers and students and their families has only grown over the years.
On the first day of school, there's so much for kids to look forward to.
When I think about just the excitement at the beginning of the school year, it's like meeting your teacher, having your friends back again, but there's also like the anxiety that comes with having all the things you need.
Things like pencils, paper, crayons, and backpacks. Isaac Cardona with Portland Public Schools knows how critical it is for kids to have everything they need and how good it feels to make sure they have it.
I think it's an amazing thing to help prepare kids for school. Just post-pandemic, there's a lot of need, like families are struggling.
As chief of schools for PPS, Cardona sees that need firsthand. He's thankful that many Portland schools buy supplies in bulk for kids, paid for by PTA donations and student fees. And then there's Schoolhouse Supplies. The nonprofit provides free school supplies to teachers in classrooms where at least half their students qualify for free and reduced lunch. And Schoolhouse Supplies gets a huge chunk of their support from the KGW School Supply Drive.
Just like the sheer joy on their faces when they get something new that's theirs, their own, that they can have for school. It's fantastic.
This year, our goal is to collect enough donations to provide supplies for 15,000 kids. A $25 donation provides one student with basic supplies. And it doesn't just help kids at the beginning of the school year. Most run out of supplies by the start of the second semester and can't replace them.
So if you can see that smile on a kid's face, by all means, keep donating either money or supplies, because it really does make a difference in not just one kid's life, but classrooms, schools, a whole district.
In North Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
And one of the easiest ways to help is by giving online. Go to kgw.com/school and click donate cash. And when you give online, you get something too. A pass to the Columbia Sportswear Employee Store. Hello. On Point Community Credit Union is stepping up in a big way this week too. They're giving $5 to every drive. Every time someone donates $1 at one of its branches. Let me see if I can read this correctly. You can also drop off school supplies.
Tap me in.
It's only been like the 5th time I've read this. You go.
Every time someone gives $1 at a local On Point Community Credit Union branch this week, On Point is going to match it with $5. You give 1, they give 5. It's a good deal.
Okay. See, I was reading math. That was the problem.
Are we done with this? How about we talk about the most difficult way to give? No, we won't do that. We'll move along to Driving Me Crazy. We're talking about road-worthy cars in the rain.
So Chris McGinnis is back with a rainy day edition of Driving Me Crazy.
I have in my hand a penny. We're going to talk more about this in a
I
second.
actually haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Well, they're going out of style now, apparently, but I'm going to show you why it still has some use.
Okay.
Maybe not in your bank account, but let's talk tires, right? There's a lot of ways we can roll here, but we'll focus on tread depth. Yeah. Do you have enough skin on your tires? I checked up on some of my esteemed coworkers here, and 2 passed with flying colors. One was a little iffy, and I'm not going to name names here. We know who that person is, though. I did the penny test. So here's the deal. You put the penny in the tread of your tire. If you see Abe Lincoln's head showing, that means your tread depth is down to 2/32 of an inch. By law, you are required to change out your tires. You actually need 4/32 of an inch in each groove of your front tires, 2/32 elsewhere to meet guidelines. On a rainy day like today, your water channels, away from... Okay, we're getting a little too fast here. That was the next thing. Headlights in the rain. That's another very popular topic. And so with that, yes, by law, you're required to have your headlights on in the rain. It was there in the statute just a couple of seconds ago. So a good rule of thumb, if you need your wipers, you need your headlights.
I do like that rule of thumb.
And there you see, I've got a couple of people that were rolling in the rain, didn't have their headlights on.
Yeah, so
did that surprise you, the penny test and the tread thing?
I had never heard about the Abe Lincoln head deal. It sounded like you had already heard of that before.
And in my defense, in case I'm the guilty party,
I'm around when Abe Lincoln. No,
I'm an Abraham Lincoln fan, so I don't really like to cover Abe up.
Okay, that's a good reason to keep your tread down.
Did you just out yourself with the tread?
I know my tires were one of the tires that actually came away good in the most recent test, but I will tell you, there have been times where I've been guilty of taking my tires down to the threads. Like that, you could actually see the inner workings of the tire.
Should we start talking about air pressure? Because I brought this out too. That's another topic. I want to know what drives you nuts on the roads before we get too off the rails here. Post your videos, comments on my social media, or you can email me, cmcginnis@kgw.com.
All right, always great information. Thank you, Mr. McGinnis. Hey, the National Weather Service put this up on their homepage of their website a couple of days back. So attention boaters, expect low water conditions at times on the Columbia and the Willamette rivers in the Portland Metro through Monday, this Monday. River levels during low tide will be between 0 and 1.5 feet. Now that's not measured from the river bottom where you're like, oh my gosh. There's a median spot where they actually measure the water level. The messaging here is, and we get this time of the year, and we'll have this issue in September probably at times as well, the rivers are starting to run low. So if you're going to be pleasure boating out and about on the Columbia or the Willamette, especially during low tide, just keep your eyes on the water levels. The concern is you could run ashore or hit some shallow spots and do some damage to your vessels. So a good warning there for your boating pleasure. Here's a look at radar right now. Cloudiness pushing across much of our 2 states, and the biggest surge of steady rain for Portland appears now to be over and off to our east up in the Cascades and moving through the gorge. We still have scattered rain showers back off of the coast, but you can definitely see from I-5 here back to the west, the rain starting to break up. We'll see the showers increasingly break up even further as we get marching into the afternoon. Futurecast 9 o'clock this morning still shows quite a bit of rain in the area overall, which we currently have. Here we are at 1 o'clock, and then here we are at 5 o'clock, and you can see what I just mentioned, the number of scattered showers greatly decreasing. So if you have plans this afternoon, there's a reasonable chance that you'll be dry, or at least mostly dry as you're out and about. Right now, we're getting into some of those dry breaks, including you folks down in Salem looking at our state capital, 64 degrees. Rose City camera, cloudy skies, also getting into a break in the rain in scattered locations, 63. None of this has been stormy, and it won't be. It's just been gentle, light rain rates, and there's not much wind. 61 up in Kelso. It's been a wetter day up to our north and not as wet when you drop south of the Rose City. We expect primarily dry weather east of the Cascades with increasing sunshine today. Here on the west side, though, we'll keep a lot of clouds. That afternoon lingering scattered shower chance, just getting up into the 70s. In fact, Longview may do well just to get there, battleground 71. Vancouver and Portland each at 72. We have the impact alert up just for the wet commute primarily this morning. A lot drier this afternoon, 72. Tomorrow a nice day and still comfortable at 76 with developing sun. 82 Friday, 86 Saturday, and then we get hot. 94 Sunday. We still think it's at least a possibility we'll be around 100 on Monday and still well up into the 90s on Tuesday with an impact alert up for the hot weather getting into next week. Here's Chris.
Already planning on a pool weekend. All right, let me give you a different perspective here. 4 cameras in one shot here, and they're all slow. It has been kind of a tough morning on the roads. We've had at least 5 crashes on the freeway so far this morning. I haven't heard of any serious injuries, and the good news is all of those crashes have cleared, but we're still puttering along nonetheless. There's I-5 northbound near Capitol Highway. Again, really slow up from there through the Twilliger curves. Right now, the trip in from Wilsonville, about 35 minutes. Inbound Sunset, about 25 minutes now to get you in from Hillsborough. And the trip southbound through North Portland. Wait, come on. Let's get that camera moving. There it goes. It's not moving much faster than the still pic. 9 miles an hour right now, the southbound I-5 drive through North Portland. 22 minutes, get you in from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. Sunrise rolls on after this break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
President Trump's on again, off again tariff deadline is about 13 hours away, and it comes as the White House braces against other building frustrations, including a push from some Republicans for more transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein case. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Now, inside 12 hours of President Trump's tariffs taking effect,
we made the greatest trade deals in the history of our country.
not all of the deals are done. Negotiations with China, Switzerland, India, and others still in the mix. Uncertainty that leaves many worrying about who will ultimately pay the tab. Heavy equipment maker Caterpillar warning tariffs could bring a $1.5 billion bottom line loss. And Marriott citing tariffs in a drop of government and international travel to the U.S.
I try not to go over like $50 because that's kind of like my budget.
A new Associated Press poll shows a majority of Americans say the cost of groceries are now a major source of stress.
The idea that your fresh food is going to double or triple in price in a matter of days from when you previously purchased it, I think is a cause of concern for anyone.
And all of that unfolding as the White House also deals with growing pressure for transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein case. The president suggesting transcripts of a recent 9-hour Justice Department interview with Epstein associate and convicted sex offender Ghislaine Maxwell could soon be released. Her legal team, though, pushing back in a written statement saying whatever interest the public may have in Epstein, her legal options are viable and her due process rights remain. Maxwell currently appealing her conviction.
The ayes are 8, the nays are 2.
While the House Oversight Committee is now calling on the Justice Department to turn over all of its files on Epstein and Maxwell by August 19th. And let's get back to the tariffs for just a second here. The president saying the rollout at midnight, just the start, promising more tariffs, some possibly at 200% or more, will be imposed on pharmaceuticals as well as semiconductors and computer chips, all that in the next couple of weeks. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
Still ahead on Sunrise, 2 Gresham families are out of their homes but alive after a fire. We'll show you why firefighters think a battery was to blame and steps everyone can take to stay safe. Plus, a Portland homeless center touted as a success by Mayor Keith Wilson is now dealing with what it calls a devastating surprise. Their fight to stay afloat coming up.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. Jesse Calhoun, the man already accused of killing 3 women and dumping their bodies around the Portland area over 2 years ago, is now charged with a 4th murder. On Tuesday, the Multnomah County DA announced Calhoun had been indicted for the death of 22-year-old Kristen Smith. Prosecutors haven't said how they linked Calhoun to the alleged crimes or how he knew the victims. He has pleaded not guilty. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
Well, as promised, been a wet start. There hasn't been anything stormy out there. The rain rates, in fact, have been light to gentle, no wind. And after seeing fairly steady rain in Portland for hours, now you can see it's scattered. So we're getting a mix of dry and wet. These scattered showers, probably still 2 or 3 more hours of being somewhat numerous. And then after that, I think the number of showers really starts to fall apart this afternoon and will become drier and drier. We have clouds over the city, 63 degrees. Again, rain showers in the area. We have the impact alert up this morning, mainly just for the wet conditions during the AM commute. Later today, a lot drier. We'll get up to about 72. 7-day forecast still shows hot weather into next week.
The sunrise show erupting here at 8:30 in the morning on KGW+. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano once again erupting. We've talked about this a lot because this is one of the most active volcanoes on Earth, if not the most active. Previous eruptions have sent lava fountains over 1,000 feet into the air. This one, though, doesn't look as powerful. The USGS is reporting that fountains are only about 150 to 300 feet high this morning. With this latest eruption, this is the 30th time that Kilauea has erupted since the month of December, which is crazy, right? Yes, sir.
That is so cool.
Well, it's a great visual.
It's just,
as long as it's not hurting anyone.
Yes,
and it's not destroying any homes.
Very good point.
We pulled the video up and we like to look at it.
That does happen, yeah. Wow.
And if you don't know, that is why we have the Hawaiian Islands. That's the island, the island of Hawaii. How do they call that?
The Hawaiian Islands?
Well,
the big island?
The big island is called
Hawaii.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think it's actually
archipelago.
Anyway, this island obviously still growing in landmass. That's what's going on right there with that volcano erupting. And then the beautiful island of Kauai, which is the older of the main island chains we talk about. Of course, it's eroding and it's getting smaller and smaller.
I have something else I can add that has nothing to do with this story. Do you want it? It's going to take me 2
Yes,
seconds.
I want it.
This is random, but I heard this earlier this morning. Every planet in the solar system rotates counterclockwise, except Venus, the only planet that rotates clockwise. I don't know.
But isn't there also one that rotates on its
I don't know about that. Don't throw off my statement here, Chris.
Did you read like a Snapple lid? Like
Something about your explanation about the volcanoes in Hawaii made me think about that. Venus, the only planet rotating clockwise in our solar system.
erupting in catastrophe here on the desk?
All right.
What else can we say to kind of take you off your weather game?
I don't know. You know, it is peculiar when I think about it, but I really do love working with the people I work with. And that's why. You never know when something's just going to be goofy as all get out. But Drew, thank you for that illuminating piece of education.
You're welcome.
All right, from a Snapple lid, apparently. We have showers out there that are on the west side. What I want to point out is this is the steady batch of rain that Portland had for hours. Now it's breaking into scattered showers. Still numerous showers for the next couple of hours probably, and then this afternoon we get drier and drier with a lingering shower threat. So it still looks like most of the rain that we're getting today is this morning, and perhaps the wettest part of our day is now starting to come to an end. Here's Lincoln Station, Earthquakes Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 62. Portland, we're now getting a mix of some dry time. We're at 63. There's no wind. The rain rates out there continue to be gentle and light. Again, fewer showers this afternoon. We'll lift the impact alert, which is mainly issued for this morning's wet drive-in. That'll be gone by noon. Today's high gets up to about 72. We have clouds currently pushing across our state, but central and eastern Oregon both expecting to get increasing sunshine with dry weather this afternoon as we see the scattered showers becoming fewer and fewer. 60s at the coast, just getting up into the 70s around the I-5 corridor, 72 today. Tomorrow, really comfortable. Early clouds, sun, 76. Still really nice Friday, 82. Saturday, we start to bump it, 86. Sunday, 94. That could be day one of at least 3, maybe 4 90-degree days in a row. We have us near 100 on Monday, mid-90s on Tuesday with the impact alert up for, obviously, the hot weather. Here's Chris.
Rod, we have evidence that the rain is maybe tapering off a bit here. This is a live look at the Glen Jackson Bridge. We're starting to see some dry spots in between the wet spots on the road. This has been a slow spot this morning, the drive over the Glen Jackson Bridge, as has the trip through North. Well, it's not that slow. The camera's been a little jittery, but in any event, south I-5 through North Portland is puttering along right now. You're tripping from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge is about 20 minutes at last check. Over to Capitol Highway we go. Northbound I-5, again, still slow and steady coming in from that direction. The inbound Sunset, slow and steady over the Sylvan Hill. And right now, we're looking at a 31-minute commute if you're hopping on the road in Troutdale right now to get you to the I-5 split. Guys.
Thank you, Chris. And we do have an update on that pavement project on Cornelius Pass Road for you. Day 2 of work, which was set for today, has been delayed because of the rain. Crews now expected to finish the job tomorrow or Friday. So if you drive that route, check tripcheck.com for closures and detours.
Two Gresham families are without a home right now after a fire ripped through their duplex. Investigators believe this fire was likely sparked by a lithium-ion battery.
KGW's Alma McCarty spoke with one of the family's friends and firefighters about the real dangers involved with these type of rechargeable batteries.
Recalling what happened Sunday evening in Gresham,
Seeing my best friend just crying and holding her babies with just smoke all over their faces.
Shaylin Smith can't help but feel emotional.
Whew. And I grabbed her kids because those kids are like my kids. They had no shoes on, smoke everywhere, and they were just so devastated and so traumatized.
As the fire forced the family out of this duplex, she tried to calm them down.
Everything can be replaced, but you cannot be replaced. Your pets can't be replaced. Your neighbor can't be replaced. Everyone made it out alive. Everyone made it safe by the grace of God.
The home, boarded up, surrounded by debris and unlivable for now, caught fire, crews believe, due to the failure of a lithium-ion battery that was charging inside the neighbor's unit.
It had exploded and the flames just got completely out of hand before they can get a control on it.
Always a chance for things to go wrong with these lithium-ion batteries.
Lieutenant Deputy Fire Marshal Brandon Baird explains there's a couple factors that could spell trouble. For example, cheaper replacement batteries.
In the manufacturing process, they're taking shortcuts. The thermal cutoffs aren't being installed, and so we're seeing those overheat during the charging process.
Larger batteries using more power for bikes, scooters, and RC cars can often pose more dangers, as do older or broken batteries.
Always attend the charging process. When it's done charging, remove it from the charger base and unplug the charger base. Always store it at room temperature if possible.
While the homeowners decide whether the house can be repaired, Shaylin has this to say about the accidental fire.
These things are freak accidents, they're accidents, not his fault. It's really nobody's fault,
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Right next door in southeast Portland, newly released surveillance video shows the moment that someone started a fire on a preschool playground. We'll take a closer look here. You see that man who walked up to the play structure there on Sunday. A few seconds later, you're going to see it right about now. Yep, there's that glow, what looks like the start of that fire, which really grew. That playground is part of Cairo Academy. It's a school that serves immigrant and refugee families.
We had no idea what was burning. We were just monitoring to make sure it wasn't coming this way.
This was about safety, it was about sense of belonging, it was about community pride. So that is what is lost more than the dollars.
Because it serves immigrant and refugee families, investigators believe the school may have been targeted as part of a bias crime. Cairo is raising money through a GoFundMe to try and rebuild that structure. They still plan to welcome kids back when school starts in September.
Manuel Espinoza, the man who pleaded guilty to supplying a fentanyl-laced pill to a 16-year-old that killed him, was sentenced to more than 13 years in federal prison. Griffin Hoffman, a McDaniel High School sophomore, died from the incident 3.5 years ago. He took a pill thinking it was oxy, but it turned out to be fentanyl. We have continued to follow Griffin's and his family's story over the last 3 years, and we put those stories together as a streaming special on our free TV app, KGW+. It includes how to talk to your family about the dangers of the drug. Watch Griffin's story, Stopping the Flood of Fentanyl, anytime on demand on Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV.
Some really disturbing news from Tigard police this morning, who say they arrested an 18-year-old man who attacked an 82-year-old woman. Investigators say Marcellus Ford followed the woman on Sunday evening along a popular walking trail that runs right behind the Tigard Public Library. They say he attacked her and then took off. Cyclists passing by fortunately found the woman. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Ford, meanwhile, you see him right there, is charged with second-degree assault.
Oregon officials have announced a $160 million investment in affordable housing across the state. So that will support building and preserving of 10 rental housing developments totaling more than 740 homes. That includes the Goose Hollow Lofts in Portland, which are being turned into affordable housing. Regarding the investment, Governor Tina Kotek said in part, quote, "These projects will go a long way in helping Oregonians afford to live where they work in a community that suits them best."
A Southeast Portland day center for the homeless is trying to stay open as Mayor Wilson makes a push to open up even more day centers.
So the center, PDX Saints Love, has been around since 2017. It now helps about 2,000 homeless people a year, giving them a place to go during the day and get connected to services. It was expecting to get money from the city to expand, but that didn't happen. This week, the city announced it's giving a different homeless day center, Join PDX, in Northeast Portland, $3.7 million to expand. Now, this came as a surprise to those at PDX St. Love's who say that they were counting on a chance to get that money. The city says it never applied for the funding. In a statement, Mayor Wilson said in part, quote, "While I am disappointed in this missed opportunity to compete for a city contract, I stand by our transparent and equitable procurement process. I continue to believe that PDX St. Love has an important role in helping our most vulnerable." The center, on the other hand, says it was never invited to apply for the funding in the first place.
I never got invited to participate to miss a deadline. I've just been floundering, like, what are we going to do? We cannot let this shut.
So you can catch the full version of the story, including what that day center is doing now to try to keep the doors open. And the latest episode of the story, you can watch that anytime on our free TV app, streaming KGW+.
There appears to be an answer to the mystery behind a long-running sea star die-off along the Pacific coast. A team in British Columbia found a type of bacteria that they say is the cause of death for more than 5 billion sea stars. The die-off began back in 2013, impacting sea stars from Mexico all the way north to Alaska. The sunflower sea star has been the hardest hit, with around 90% of its population lost during that first 5 years of the outbreak. But now, once again, it appears scientists have a clear cause.
And so when we finally had that kind of conclusive study and we had all those components together that were able to provide us an answer, it was pretty black and white to see all of this bacteria in our wasting sea stars and virtually absent from the healthy sea stars. It was kind of perfect. It was great.
So with this discovery, scientists can now focus on how to stop the sea star die-off and the recovery of ecosystems where they live.
Your time now is 8:41. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at traffic.
Yeah, the drive has been, we've had a few issues out there. We've had at least 6 crashes on the freeway this morning. I don't have any updates on injuries, but I can tell you they've all cleared at this point. Right now, the slowest spot appears to be your 84 westbound drive, and the vast majority of that slowing is inside the Gateway District. Let's take you there. We'll zoom in real quick. 84 westbound from basically 82nd Avenue, and then the rest of the way in. That 5-mile drive is puttering along at about 11 miles an hour. So, yep. Patience on that side of town for sure. We'll keep you on the east side here over in the Lentz neighborhood. This is northbound 205, slow and steady near Foster as well. And last but not least, some good news. The I-5 drive out of Clark County, the end of the line has made its way down to and over the interstate bridge. But from there, slow and steady the rest of the way down to the Fremont. About 22 minutes now, your drive bridge to bridge from the interstate down to the Fremont. Guys?
All right, thank you, Chris. More than 100 wildfires ripping through several states this morning. They're threatening homes, polluting the air, and forcing evacuations. Coming up next here on Sunrise, we're going to have the latest from the front lines.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
100 wildfires are raging across multiple states this morning, impacting everything from air quality to travel. A fire burning near the Grand Canyon in Arizona is now the largest in the U.S. with no signs of slowing down, and almost 1,000 structures are in danger in Central California. Here's Liz Kreutz with the latest.
Multiple wildfires impacting cities coast to coast. In Central California, the Gifford fire exploding to more than 82,000 acres, forcing hundreds to evacuate, with flames threatening nearly 900 structures.
All the fences on the backside burned up.
Satellite imagery showing a time lapse of the smoke, blanketing skies as far away as Las Vegas.
And the fire started right around here on the highway, quickly charring thousands of acres. Firefighters say it's the steep terrain deep in this forest that's made it so challenging to fight.
You have extremely steep slopes, very rugged, and then places that haven't burned in a long time. So we received less than 50% average rainfall this year. That's causing the fuels to be in critical fuel moisture level.
The fire, one of roughly a dozen burning across the state, from Big Bear to the mountains near Palm Desert. Further east in Arizona, firefighters battling the largest fire in the U.S. in the Grand Canyon, where the Dragon Bravo fire is now more than 125,000 acres. In Maui, evacuations now lifted after a brush fire threatened homes near Lahaina Monday, almost 2 years to the day since the deadly wildfire that killed more than 100 people. From the Great Lakes to the Northeast, at least a dozen states under air quality alerts due to smoke from multiple fires burning in Canada. Hazy skies can be seen in cities like Milwaukee and New York.
It's really not good. It's hazy out. I don't feel healthy out here.
And in Boston today, another ground delay at Logan Airport due to low visibility. Meanwhile, further south, North Carolina dealing with a downpour. In Charlotte, some neighborhoods underwater. From fires to flooding, the threat of extreme weather this summer is not over yet. Liz Kreutz, NBC News, Los Padres National Forest.
And back here locally, we have Rod Hill. We do have some rain in the forecast, so that's good news.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these little periods, even just cooler weather that we get, go a long ways to suppressing fire activity, and certainly the rain does, obviously, this morning. 19/100ths in the rain gauge so far out of PDX. Wondering if we can get up to about 1/4 of an inch today, which by any account would be considered a really good soak for this time of the year, the first half of August. 12/100ths up in Scappoose. You've got higher rain amounts to the north. You've got lesser rain amounts to the south, generally speaking. There's Salem, just more than a trace. And even Astoria and Newport have not had as much as Portland, each coming in under 1/10 of an inch of rain so far. Well, what was hours of steady rain overnight into early this morning? It was steady at 5, it was steady at 6, it was steady at 7 o'clock. And now in the last hour or so, that steady push is now moving up into the Cascades. And we have scattered shower activity from Portland back to the west. So if you look from Portland back this way, rain's really starting to break up. There will still be likely showers around this morning. And then this afternoon, the number of showers will become fewer and fewer. So we have the impact alert up until noon. We issued that mainly for the wet commute this morning. Haven't had wet roadways, for a while. Certainly you don't expect them this time of the year. Here's Futurecast, 9 o'clock, still showing shower activity. Now, notice 1 o'clock, fewer showers. Notice 5 o'clock, not much rain left at all, but still the threat, even for some evening plans, that you could find a raindrop. Tomorrow, I think we'll be all dry. Kind of a mixed bag of clouds to start, and then partly to mostly sunny skies developing during the day. There's no wind with any of this, no storminess. In fact, the rain rates, even at the beach, have just been light and gentle. Right now, it's kind of foggy, right? The clouds are really low from this look from the Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. 62 is the number. Been raining up at Timberline. You see the parking lot's wet, raindrops on the lens. It's 46 degrees up there. Freezing level where you would find snow is generally up to just above 8,000 feet. Timberline sets at 6,000 feet. Rose City camera, maybe, it looks like the clouds are generally holding above or higher than the West Hills. 63 is the number. We're getting into some dry breaks right now, as I mentioned. Been wet up into Seattle this morning as well. Seattle and Kelso each at 61. Had some light rain make it out into Wasco County through the Gorge, 65 there. And then expecting not only dry weather, but increasing sunshine today in central and eastern areas of our state. And most of you will see highs only in the 70s. Really comfortable day, all areas. Trying to get up into the 70s in Salem, Corvallis, and McMinnville, decreasing showers this afternoon. Southwest Washington trying to get up to about 70 degrees as well. I have Portland at 72. The impact alert just this morning. Much drier this afternoon. Tomorrow, all dry 70s, 82 Friday, 86 Saturday. Then we still are tracking hot weather. 94 Sunday, could be around 100 on Monday. Impact alert for the hot weather. 94 on Tuesday. And now it is birthday time. All right, our birthday list on this rainy morning starts with Mikey, who is 55. Happy birthday to you, right in the middle 50s there. Hope you have a great day. And also celebrating with their favorite doggy there is Linda. Happy birthday to you, 66 years young today. Hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and family. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's get you out the door. Look at the drive times. One of the slowest parts of our commute now appears to be the Banfield, and a good 25 minutes of that 31 that you see from Troutdale is just inside the Gateway District. And not that that's all that unusual for this hour of a Wednesday morning commute, but we'll show it to you. Slow and steady coming in from 82nd Avenue, puttering along at about, 15 miles an hour or less, right? Over on the west side, 217, we'll take you over to Allen Boulevard. You can see traffic is a little thick here. Again, normal stuff for this hour of a Wednesday morning drive. The trip through Tualatin also still running a little slow here. This is northbound on the right-hand side of your screen. That's near the 205 interchange. We're still kind of heavy there. Last check, the trip out of Clark County improving a bit. Still 20 minutes, though, bridge to bridge from the from the interstate to the Fremont. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In our top stories this morning, Jesse Calhoun, the man already accused of killing 3 women and dumping their bodies around the Portland area over 2 years ago, is now charged with a 4th murder. On Tuesday, the Multnomah County DA announced Calhoun had been indicted for the death of 22-year-old Kristen Smith. Prosecutors haven't said how they linked Calhoun to the alleged crimes or how he knew the victims. He pleaded not guilty. Tiger police arrested an 18-year-old accused of attacking an 82-year-old woman. Investigators say Marcellus Ford followed the woman on Sunday evening along a popular walking trail that runs right behind the Tigard Public Library. Then he attacked her and took off. Cyclists passing by found the woman and she was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Ford is charged with 2nd-degree assault, and lithium-ion battery fire tore through Gresham duplex, leaving a family without a home. Fire officials say the blaze likely started while a battery was charging inside. They're warning about cheap or damaged batteries and urging people to never leave them unattended while charging. Thankfully, everyone made it out of the home safely.
Big story, of course, this morning, weather-wise, has been the rain. It's been gentle. It's been about 0.2 of an inch of rain come down in Portland. Looks like the steady rain for the day is over. We're going to see decreasing numbers of scattered showers moving forward. The impact alert up this morning, mainly just for the wet commute in. Still tracking 100 potentially on Monday and still hot Tuesday of next week.
And you know, Rod, along with that, we've had at least 5 crashes on the freeway this morning. The good news is that we've had no reports of serious injuries, and those crashes have cleared, but we still have plenty of slow spots out there despite the rain tapering off. That's one of them. Excuse me, I was about to say I-5. That's I-84. I know where my roads are. Your trip coming in from Troutdale right now is down to about 28 minutes. We just lost the little banner for the Wilsonville drive. But it's 35 minutes. 34 minutes. Look, it's getting better. Maybe if we hang out long enough, it'll be down to 29.
I don't know if we had that much time.
That's
Chris.
your drive report.
All right, how about this? This has been grabbing our attention for the last hour. A little more daylight now over in Hawaii, where it's just about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're getting a better view of Kilauea erupting yet again. One of the most active volcanoes on Earth, certainly the most active here in the United States of America. Previous eruptions, we know, have sent lava fountains over 1,000 feet into the air. This one doesn't seem as powerful. The USGS is reporting fountains only about 150 to 300 feet high at times. But yeah, right, only. Still, always an eye grabber when this is happening. And we show these knowing that right now, at least, there is no threat to anyone that lives there on that island.
You know what would be really cool is if we could get sound of that, too.
Oh, I imagine it's like, so loud.
Oh, yeah.
If you're
just like
roaring,
close. Like, oh.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Sunrise Show wrapping up on this Wednesday morning. We've only got 15 seconds left, but enough time to tell you that you can watch this show anytime you darn well please on your schedule. Thanks to KGW Plus. We appreciate you finding us and staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow.